This is Yemi Gospel, reporting for Yemi Gospel Productions and Films. My people, brethren, Christians all over the world, lover of good thing, all the people that love good thing, all of you that love God, I'm addressing you today. I don't know if you have watched one video put on YouTube by one of the bloggers. This one is called Rotimi Daniel, concerning MFM and Dr. Dike Olukoya. This Rotimi Daniel captioned that particular video, MFM again, Olukoya of MFM, you have raised many co-ajeran jegun. Can you hear that, people? And I want to tell you that this particular matter, Dr. Dike Olukoya didn't know anything about it. MFM as a church didn't know anything about it. This so-called Rotimi Daniel said he's fighting for people. In one of his video again that he captioned, he said, in all fairness to Olukoya, the pioneer of MFM. But if you watch the video, you will know that he did nothing to be fair to Olukoya. He didn't do anything at all, brethren. The matter as he reported it, I want to give you a clip of the video. This issue has to do with land, in which MFM has nothing to do with it at all. Let's see the allegation.
Good day, everybody. Mountain of Fire Pastor, the regional head of Mountain of Fire Pastor, Ilupeju branch, Mr. Babatunde George, stole my father's land here, a land he bought in 2002. They brought fake evidence to the courts. With all evidence was pointing to my dad, was leading to my dad that he was the owner of that land, but they still fought, brought fake evidence, witness and everything, and still took this land from my father. Day and night, my father cannot sleep. At his age, a land he bought and hope that he's going to sell to train his children. He's suffering. He cannot sleep. Every day, night and day, he's suffering. It is not good. We are calling out this man. This is injustice which has been done. This injustice that has been done to my father is not good.
Brethren, this young lady talking about issue of almost 24 years or 22 years ago. How old is she? If this lady is 27, 26, 24, which I'm assuming she cannot be more than that, she won't be able to tell the story that happened 24 years ago.
They brought fake evidence to the courts. With all evidence was pointing to my dad, was leading to my dad that he was the owner of that land, but they still fought, brought fake evidence, witness and everything, and still took this land from my father. My dad had some things to say, so because he's the one that everything happened to, he has the key point. So please, you guys should listen to him as he's saying it.
You have watched. She said our court, they are not saying the truth.
The poor ones, we the ones in Nigeria, we don't have a say. The rich ones are intimidating us and my father and my family members.
He said the poor are suffering in this country from the rich people. How many rich people have done something wrong to her? She didn't say that. Do you know that she's damaging the name of the country and condemning all the institutions in Nigeria? I know she's very young. As a result of her age, she may not understand the implication of what she has done. She doubted the potency and competency of the court that delivered the judgment.
They brought fake evidence to the courts. With all the evidence, all evidence was pointing to my dad, was leading to my dad that he was the owner of that land. But they still fought and fought, brought fake evidence, witness and everything, and still took this land from my father.
She said they brought fake evidence and documents to the court. Is he telling us that the court didn't know fake evidence and documents? Is he trying to say the judges in those courts knew not what they are doing? Well, let me go further. I told you I knew almost all the senior pastors of MFM because I am a pioneer member of MFM. I've been in MFM since 1993. The pastor in question here, Pastor Babatunde George, I knew him very, very well. And immediately I watched the video. I tried to contact him. He's not around presently as I'm addressing you, but I was able to get a phone conversation. I did a phone conversation with him. Just listen to it briefly.
Ẹ káàárọ̀ sà.
Ẹ káàárọ̀, báwo ni sà?
Ẹ dáadáa ni sà. Ẹ kú ọjọ́ mẹ́ta.
Báwo ni?
Ẹ dẹ̀ kú iṣẹ́ Olúwa sà.
Ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́ o.
Yes sà. Yẹmí Gospel ló ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ sà.
Ok, Yẹmí.
Yes sà, ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́ sà. Yes sà. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ sà, a wo kinní kan lórí online kinní ni.
Ẹ wá dá olóhùn fake ni. Èmi ò tẹ̀ mọ́ máa ẹ wo fídíò ẹ̀ délẹ̀. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ wò délẹ̀. Bàbá ẹ̀ gan-an máa sọ pé òun ò mọ̀ mí rí.
Ó sọ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Èmi ò mọ̀ rí, òun náà ò mọ̀ mí rí.
Ó sọ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Mo ra lẹ̀ tèmi kóhun tó ra tiẹ̀. Mo dẹ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ tèmi dé Lintel. Gbà tó dé ro ní ibi tí àwa tèmi rà ó fẹ́ bí 18 years tí mo ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá tà fún yàn kan. After tí mo tà fún ẹni ó fẹ́ ju èyí àpilọ̀ wá ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ lọ gbẹ́ ní ẹ lọ́kọ̀t ló wá kọ orúkọ tèmi síbẹ̀ pé ajílẹ̀ òun. Bàtà dẹ̀dẹ̀ court kò tiẹ̀ ra lẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ àwọn ọmọ nílẹ̀ tó rà àwọn ọmọ nílẹ̀ tẹ̀lé wá pé àwọn ò mọ̀ rí o. Torí ìgbà tó wá adájọ́ pé báwo lè ṣe máa sọ pé ó ra lẹ̀ o ò ní receipt kankan tó lè forward o ò ní kankan o ò ní survey o ò mọ exact location lẹ̀ o kàn gbọ́ pé wọ́n lọ́ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ̀ kan pé ẹ̀ pé ó ní ilẹ̀ kan wà níbi báyìí pé tó jẹ́ tiẹ̀ so wọ́n ṣàdájọ́ yẹn àwọn ìnẹjọ́ ó tún appeal àtúnwìn ìnẹjọ́ láti last year ni o láti last year November.
Yes, you have heard what he said. He said he will forward to me all the documents regarding that case, and I have gotten it. He sent it to my Twitter X account, and I want to read it to you so that you can compare and contrast with what this lady and the man said. This response that I want to read to you, anywhere he says something that we have in the video, I will give you the clip. Response from MFM Pastor Babatunde George in respect to the false allegations of theft by Mr. Pristine Ayedo and his daughter. I'm writing to clarify the recent allegations involving my name and provide a detailed account of the facts regarding this. This is Pastor Babatunde George talking as I'm reading onto you. He took us to court. We didn't take him to court. So the issue of the rich oppressing the poor does not arise. You know, the daughter said they are oppressing them, and they were the one who went to court, not Babatunde George. Babatunde George continues. I purchased my land in 2000. He bought his in 2002. I purchased mine 2 years before this man claimed he bought his. Have a brief look at the video to reconcile the year the man said he bought his home.
A land he bought in 2002.
This land, I bought it as she has said, 2002.
Pastor Babatunde George continues his statement. I bought my land from the original land owners. That is the family that owns the land. He bought his from a cooperative as he claimed in both the video and in court. Here the statement of that man where he bought his home from.
The Omonile in that place, one of them was working for us. He's very useful to the cooperative that I belong to that bought the land.
I'm quoting Pastor Babatunde George again. All the while, the property was in my possession from year 2000 to year 2019. He did not, that is the man, did not reach out to me for any dispute claim. From year 2000 to 2019, the man didn't come and say, this is my land. And I was not aware of anyone contesting ownership of the land with me until year 2020, after I had resold the land. It was when Pastor George resold the land that this man came up with his own allegation. For almost 18 to 19 years, year 2000 to 2019, the man didn't show up. It was in year 2020, which is 20 years after, that this man came up. Where was this man for this so long period? I read on. Pastor Babatunde George said, I've never had any interaction with this man. And he himself admitted in the video that he has never had any dealings with me. You hear that? Have a look at the video.
All these years, that's in 2002 that I bought the land, and when we want to start work there, till now, I have not been able to get access to the man who bought this land.
Welcome back. In the video in circulation, he admitted that an Omonile sold his land. Have a look at that where he's made this statement in the video.
The Omonile, that's the ringleader, he came to me and said, Pastor, he just want to tell me that he's the one that sold this land.
Pastor George still talking. He claims I used his materials. This is false because I did not meet any materials when I was working on that land for the 19 years I was in occupation. The truth is all materials used to develop the land to lintel level were purchased by me. Pastor Babatunde George continues. He said the land is bought from the original land owner who testified in court that they sold the land to me before I sold to another person. Can you hear that? Sometime after the land was resold, this man took me and the person I resold the land to, together with the Omonile, to court. And I went to court. Can you hear that? After 20 years, that was when he took the person that bought the land from Pastor George to court. He joined Pastor George and the Omonile together with that suit. Pastor George said, I went to court to defend myself with all the necessary documents. You know, you can't buy a land without getting at least something, even if it is ordinary paper. Let's say there's no receipt, but at least you will get a paper that will say this land belongs to so-so person. I want you to listen attentively as I'm reading what Pastor George sent to me. I continue with the reading or with the write-up of Pastor George. In court, it was discovered that he bought the land from a cooperative and not even the land owner. None of the receipts he tendered in court had his name on it. The name on the receipt he purportedly brought to court were that of the cooperative. The cooperative did not issue any particular receipt in his name or indicate that they allocated any portion of the land to him, nor that particular land. He was also unable to identify the exact location of the land allegedly sold to him. There was also no survey plan by him on the purported land. Can you hear this? This man went to court. He couldn't provide all this thing. But the daughter said they have everything and that all the document they submitted, they turn it against them. Is it possible that way, people? Is it possible? The landowning family were also in court and affirmed that they did not have any transaction with him regarding that parcel of land. In fact, they went ahead to say they did not know him, neither did they sell their land to any cooperative in that location. The landowner said they didn't sell land to cooperative, meaning there was no way their land can pass through one cooperative to any one. But this man said he bought his own from cooperative. Hear him again.
The Omolile in that place, one of them was working for us. He's very used to the cooperative that I belong to, that bought the land.
You are welcome. I'm continuing with the reading. The case was decided and ruled in our favor for lack of merit because it did not have any documents/evidence to prove his case. When you cannot prove your case in any court, you cannot be awarded what you desire. Pastor Babatunde George continues. Again, I would like to reiterate that none of the documents he presented in court had his name. He did not present any receipt of payment bearing his name, and you want to claim ownership. And he was also unable to identify the exact location of the land allegedly sold to him. Can you see? He couldn't even recognize where his own parcel of land was. As at the time he showed up, he couldn't identify his own parcel of land. And he's alleging innocent man. And as I've been reading now, can you point to me any portion of this case that has to do with Olukoya or Mountain of Fire Miracles Ministry? Just continue to listen to me. I continue with the reading of the document sent to me by Pastor George. Just as I purchased my land, they claim to have purchased theirs. Why then are they defaming and blackmailing me when I have no connection to their claims? If there is anyone to be blackmailed, he knows who he paid money to for the purchase of his land. He should go there to demand for his land or a refund of his money. Can you hear that? You bought a land not from Pastor George, not from the person you sold to. Now it is the name of Pastor George you brought to social media. You left the people, the purported people you said you bought land from, you left them behind, but you brought the wrong person to court. Nigerians, can you hear that? Can you see all what these evil bloggers are doing? How they have conspired to make sure they kill Christianity in Nigeria. How they thought they can pull down the church. And I want you to know, Rotimi, Daniel, what God has built, no man can pull it down. Jesus said, upon this rock, I've built my church, and the gate of hell can never and will never prevail over it. He made this statement over 2,000 years ago, and the statement is as valid as at the time it was made. Rotimi, Daniel, you cannot prevail over the church. All the people that have done what you are doing in the past, go and ask them, the ones that are still alive. Go and do research on those that died, and you will know that none of them prevail over the church. So Rotimi, Daniel, you will surely fail as well. The only thing is that he informed the court that he purchased the land for 70,000 naira, which he paid to the cooperative. He paid money to cooperative, not to the landowners, and not to the landowners or me, the me here, representing Pastor George. He didn't pay money to the landowner. He didn't pay money to Mr. George or Pastor George to acquire the land. He paid to a cooperative as he claimed.
Cooperative that have belonged to that body land.
I continue reading. The court judgment at the Ogun State High Court is available for anyone to access. Rotimi, Daniel, if you want to access the judgment, the document for that judgment, if you want to access it, it's available for you to do. I'm leaving that for you to do, because you said you are spreading the truth. But spreading your truth, you didn't verify what you are saying, and that is what you evil bloggers are doing. You didn't ask Pastor George. You didn't ask the person that bought the land from Pastor George. You didn't ask the landowners, but you put this video on social media to defame and to destroy the name of Dr. D.K. Olukoya, the name of Mountain of Fire and Miracle Ministries, and the name of our regional pastor, Pastor Babatunde George. Rotimi, Daniel, is it fair for you? Are you doing a good job like that? You said you are fair to every religion. You said you want to correct things. Is that the way you correct things? You hear from one person, you didn't hear from another person. What you heard from the first person is what you are putting on, and you are basing your judgment on it. Though it's not new to me, that is what all of you are doing. You know, all of you have conspired together to destroy the church, but you will all fail. I continue with the reading of the document sent to me by Pastor George. Just as I purchased my land, they claim to have purchased theirs. Why then are they defaming and blackmailing me when I have no connection to their claims? If there is anyone to be blackmailed, he knows who he paid money to for the purchase of his land. He should go there to demand for his land or a refund of his money. Can you hear that? You bought a land not from Pastor George, not from the person you sold to. Now it is the name of Pastor George you brought to social media. You left the people, the purported people you said you bought land from, you left them behind, but you brought the wrong person to court. Nigerians, can you hear that? Can you see all what these evil bloggers are doing? How they have conspired to make sure they kill Christianity in Nigeria? How they thought they can pull down the church? Rotimi, Daniel, what God has built, no man can pull it down. Jesus said, upon this rock I've built my church, and the gate of hell can never and will never prevail over it. He made this statement over 2,000 years ago, and the statement is as valid as at the time it was made. Rotimi, Daniel, you cannot prevail over the church. All the people that have done what you are doing in the past, go and ask them, the ones that are still alive. Go and do research on those that died, and you will know that none of them prevail over the church. So Rotimi, Daniel, you will surely fail as well. Pastor George further said, if there is anyone to be blackmailed, he knows who he paid money to for the purchase of his land. He should go there to demand for his land or a refund of his money. I think that is what this man should have done, instead of coming on here to start deforming an innocent person, in which Rotimi, Daniel joined him to do. Imagine, just look at the title, MFM again, MFM again. Since I've been reading this to you, I've not mentioned MFM. I've not mentioned the name of Dr. D.K. Olukoya in all these things that I'm reading to you. Now, why did Rotimi, Daniel, publish what you knew nothing about to gain? You are looking for money. and you are an enemy of the living God. You are an enemy of the Lord Jesus Christ. But as I'm saying, the church will surely prevail over you. All the people that rose against the church in the past, they lost the battle. Go and ask them. You will surely lose this battle. Pastor George continues. He said, I'm being blackmailed and defamed because of my position as a pastor. Can you hear that? MFM has no involvement whatsoever in this matter. Can you hear? Nothing concerns MFM in this case. Nothing concerns Dr. Dike Olukoya in this case. But Rotimi Daniel framed his topic and said MFM again. Is this fear Nigerians? If the church rise now, this same Rotimi Daniel will come over and say, hey, they have taken me to court. But he's a specialist in rumor mongering. He is a liar. Nigerians, rise up. Don't fold your hands and let the good people of this country be pulled down. All these evil people want to increase poverty and anguish in this country. That is why they are trying to pull down those people that are good, so that when all the people that are rendering help, when they made life to be unbearable for them, they will stop helping people, and they are not ready. I mean, these bloggers, they are not ready to help anyone. Rotimi Daniel should come out and begin to tell us the people he has helped in his life. But he specializes in destroying people's character that they work hard for to build. Pastor George didn't become a regional overseer suddenly. He labored, he sweat, he worked before he got to that position. All his educational qualification, the man didn't get it just one day. You, Rotimi Daniel, and this man, Agedo, and your daughter, you are now rising up to drag such a name in the mud. Is that the way you people are trained? Nigerians used to be cultured people that respect people that have integrity. But I don't know what is wrong with the generation of this Rotimi Daniel, because as I was looking at your picture, I know you are a young man. You are doing what you don't even know. I read on. I bought my land just as he claims he bought his. He did not approach me to contest ownership of the land for the 19 years I was in occupation. This man didn't show up. His video can attest to this fact, meaning he didn't know Pastor George. Let's see the video.
Since all these years, that's in 2002 that I bought the land, and when we want to start work there, till now, I have not been able to get access to the man who bought this land.
Welcome back. I read on. The video can also attest to the fact that I was not the one that stole his land, because he mentioned that it was an Omonile that sold his land. He said it in the video. I have a clip of that.
As I got to that place on that day, behold, I saw the Omonile, the head of the Omonile who said he was working for us. He's the one that sold the land.
Welcome back. I continue with the reading. Why am I being paraded as a thief? And the good reputation I've worked hard to build being robbed in the mud. Look at that. Nigeria, I pray for you. Your labor, your hard work, if people will not rise up to destroy it. All what you have labored for in your life to acquire, false people, ignorant people, destroyers, amputators, they will not rise up to destroy what you have built. That is what all these bloggers are doing. They want to destroy the reputation of good people, people that are doing the right thing in the country. They are deforming them. I continue with the reading. I don't understand why a person who lost in court will go to social media to wipe up unwanted sentiments. A matter that has been settled by a court of competent jurisdiction is final and only subject to appeal, which is an option open to them should they choose to. Can you hear that? If they choose to exploit that way, that is to appeal. You heard it in the voice of Pastor George himself that these people went to 2 courts. After losing in one, they went to another and they lost again. Now, they're on social media to peddle rumor, to destroy people's character, to assassinate people's image, calling the name of Olukoya and MFM into a matter that they knew nothing about. Rotimi Daniel, is that the way you do your own journalism? I think government should begin to check all these untrained and not scrupulous elements that are doing YouTube now. If the government starts banning, if the government start harassing and intimidating you now, you people will say the government of this country, they are not fair. They don't want people to talk. Is it rumor or assassination of people's character that we will use to talk and build a nation, Rotimi Daniel?
When people are looking for money and cheap popularity, they go to social media to start alleging people wrongly, campaigning to people to donate money, to help them, to assist them.
So guys, please, the only reason why we are bringing this to social media is for we are crying for help. You help us, please. Nigerians, come to our aid.
They can simply do all these things without alleging anyone. If you want the public to help you, you don't need to go to social media and begin to deform and damage and assassinate people's character. This Mr. Preston Aredo and Isidora, they are looking for money and cheap popularity, and they are now trying to allege an innocent person. When this case in question started, our pastor was not even invited into the court. The first court threw away the case for lack of merit, and they went to the other court, another court. It was in the second court that they said, okay, the first buyer who resold the land to the occupant now should show up so that at least to hear from him. And when our pastor went to the court, he tendered all the documents, everything. And when the judge looked at everything, he was discharged and acquitted. I mean, the real buyer now, the person occupying it now, because our pastor has no case with them. He is not the one pulling case with them. He's not the one that took them to court. He was not even aware that a case like that was going on in the court for over 3 years when they first started the case. So it was the second court that said they should let our pastor come and explain his own side of the thing, so that to clarify all the thing. And the name of Mountain of Fire Miracles Ministry was not mentioned there. The name of Dr. D.K. Olukoya was not mentioned at all. And our pastor didn't go to court to introduce himself as pastor from Mountain of Fire Miracles Ministries. But you know, in the course of investigating and things like that, they got to know that he is a pastor, in which the judge didn't say anything against that. As a member of Mountain of Fire Miracles Ministry, or as a pastor, we have the same right to interact with public in the area of business and other things of life. Being a Christian doesn't mean you are cut off from the society. We are part and parcel of the society. And I see no reason why someone wants to go to court and or go to social media and begin to damage the name of a church and pastor for no just reason. Because this case at hand doesn't concern the church at all, and it doesn't concern Dr. D.K. Olukoya, it doesn't concern our regional overseer. I said earlier that to become a regional overseer in a church, you have to build your reputation to a level It is not something you attain suddenly, and you now went to court to tarnish this name and this position. False allegation. For you to become important in society, to achieve good things in society, you must first build yourself. And it is not fair for anyone to go to court or to go to social media and begin to defame such people. Rotimi Daniel, if you are on the truth, you should investigate matters very well before you come out with it. You are not of the truth, and people like you are many. So Rotimi Daniel, be warned. The God of the Christians doesn't get angry suddenly, or he gives long rope to people to repent. So Rotimi Daniel, repent of all your evil publication that you are doing against the church. When the God of the Christian finally gets angry, you cannot pacify him. Rotimi Daniel, be warned.
I read on. We were 4 defendants. Why is he singling me out for defamation? He singled out Pastor George. What about others? He didn't mention the name of the landowners or Monile that he bought the land from, that sold his land. He didn't mention the present person on the land, but mentioning the name of our pastor, George. Why? Nigerians, you just look at that. Examine it. Is that a fair way of doing things? Is it because of my position in MFM? Are they trying to take advantage of the fact that I'm a pastor in MFM? Can you see? Rotimi Daniel and co thought destroying the name of God, bringing servants of God down, we bring them fame, we bring them money. That fame is wrong thing to acquire through that way. And that wealth you are looking for is a satanic trap to destroy you. I read on. Social media is not a court, and cases are not won or determined by sentiment. Yes, you cannot win anything by being sentimental. It's not done that way. Due process and the law must be followed. Only facts can sustain claims. You need fact to sustain your claims. People watching this video have read the documents sent to me by Pastor George. And Pastor George said the judgment paper is available. If Rotimi Daniel wants to be a good citizen, if he doesn't want to be seen as a liar and perpetrator of evil, he should go and get that judgment paper and present it to the public. Rotimi Daniel, you have had the response of Pastor George. Tender to us all your evidence to prove this case. You people think by destroying people's life, your own can be better. Every destroyer will soon meet his or her Waterloo. The Bible made us to know that when you stop deforming people's life and characters and names, that is when your own will start. Rotimi Daniel, I'm challenging you further on this issue. Bring your evidence. Mr. Christine Aedo, including your daughter, please bring your evidence. You said in your video you have never met Pastor George. Your daughter was talking as if she was born during that time. Because that lady I'm looking at cannot be more than 26 years or even less. Nigerians, judge the case yourself. You became the speaker of your father. You said your father aged because of land. The land your father didn't check for 20 years. That's what made him to become old. That is why the man is sick. The land he didn't go to check for 20 years. The land he did not even know the particular person of where he put his own. Nigerians, can you see that this is a gang up by evil people and lukewarm Christians to bring Christianity down in Nigeria? Rotimi Daniel, be careful. When the sword of the Lord descends upon a person, that person cannot survive it. I'm Yemi Gospel. Viewers, don't forget to subscribe to Yemi Gospel Productions and films. See you on my next video.